I've been looking at all of these strange details surrounding the mysterious death of Gene Hackman and his wife, and there's this one detail that is frustrating me so much, and it's a detail involving Gene Hackman's German Shepherd. You see, I believe that if we could have a clearer picture, a better understanding of how and where this dog was found, we may have a better understanding of what actually transpired here. And right now, everyone online is screaming, the dog was found locked in the closet. The dog was found locked in the closet. Now, if the dog was found locked in the closet, that may suggest that there is foul play. That someone came into Gene Hackman's home and they locked this dog in the closet because it was barking, maybe biting them, maybe causing a disruption. Maybe the dog was standing between them and whatever they wanted to get accomplished at Gene Hackman's house. So they locked them away in a closet, right? The only problem is, no one has ever really said that the dog was locked in a closet. If you look at all of the various media outlets that are covering the story, yes, a lot of them report that the dog was found in a bathroom closet. Some report that the dog was found in a closet 10 or 15 feet away from Betsy. But most people aren't reporting that the dog was locked in the closet. And that makes a very big difference. You may think that sometimes people get hung up on these little details and these little details don't matter, but these little details and figuring out and solving these little things, that's how you solve a case, okay? If you want to solve a case, you got to get to the bottom of these little details, and I was telling you all in my past couple of videos about this topic that some people get hung up on details that are revealed early on in the investigation. They get hung up on certain things that law enforcement and investigators say, when in reality, some of these details change down the line, right? And this is no different. Because at first it was reported that the dog was found in a closet. And then people online just went ahead and said, oh, the dog is locked in the closet. But now that story has changed. And now the dog wasn't found in the closet, it was found in a kennel. Now maybe the kennel was in the closet, but was the kennel locked? Who knows? Who knows? We cannot trust a lot of these initial details because the initial details are already changing. It's only been a couple of days, and the dog went from being in a closet a few feet away from Betsy to the dog was locked up in a closet to now the dog is in a kennel. Make it make sense, folks. These details matter a whole lot. Because I don't understand why the dog would be locked up and the other dogs are roaming the property free. That's kind of strange. But then, listen. A lot of people, they put down their pets, right? More often than not these days, when someone has a cat or a dog that's about to die or isn't doing well, they put them down. But when you allow an animal to die naturally and you don't take them to the vet to put them down, often they like to go into tight little quiet spaces to take their last breaths. Okay? I think there's a possibility. We know there were pills strewn all about. Now, some people were quick to tell me the pills were on the counter, not the floor. Well, maybe the dog ate the pills off the floor. Do you think it's far-fetched to believe if there's pill bottles everywhere and there's pills all over the counter that maybe some fell on the floor and the dog ate it? The dog wasn't feeling well, so the dog went into a tight little secure area in the closet and kicked the bucket? I'm telling you right now, animals are still animals. They're not humans. They have animal instincts. They understand that when they're dying, that they're very vulnerable. So they like to put themselves in a place like a closet where they're surrounded by walls, less chances of getting attacked from behind or someone taking advantage of them in their vulnerability or their vulnerable moments. Okay? So I do think there's a possibility that the dog ate some pills and then walked into the closet and died. Or maybe walked into the closet and maybe there are crates in the closet where they sleep and they died. I do think that's a possibility. So people getting hung up on the locked closet, you got to ask, where did you get that information from? Because now the information's already changed from a closet to a crate. And that's how stories like this, cases like this, they get all misconstrued, they get all messy, right? And this is how all of this speculation comes about. And there's nothing wrong with speculating, especially now, because they've already ruled out all these other possibilities. But yeah, I mean, it is weird though, that the German Shepherd is the dog that winded up dead. The other dogs are okay, and they're smaller dogs. So the dog that could have defended Gene Hackman and his wife, the dog that could have posed a threat to intruders, is the one that is dead. But, it's a German Shepherd. I don't have German Shepherds, but I know how German Shepherds get down. And I know how my own dogs get down. They're very protective. If you came in my house and tried something, you're not leaving in one piece. There will be signs that you tried to come in here. You may totally get eaten altogether. So I do think if there was some sort of stranger and some sort of struggle, there would be signs of that, The dog probably would have bit them or something along those lines. So I don't think there was a real struggle there between anyone and the dog. But it is weird that the threatening dog is the one that's put up and is dead now. And the dogs that don't really pose a threat, they're just, running around the property. It's really weird. Why would one dog be put up and not the others? Now, everyone's assuming that the dog was locked up and it died from no food and no water. And yes, that is very likely. But why would the dog be locked up in the first place? Do they keep this dog separate from their little dogs? I don't know. I don't know the situation that they're dealing with in there. I know personally, I don't put my dogs in crates or cages. They free roam and they just hang out. You know what I mean? But everyone has different things that they do. And some dogs like crates. They like to sleep in crates and stuff like that. Every dog is different. So I don't want to be too judgmental there. But these are details that matter. And they matter a lot when you're trying to get to the bottom of this mysterious situation. And I think one could even say that the dog being in the closet or the crate dead is even more mysterious than Gene Hackman being dead, because Gene Hackman's a 95-year-old man, and I've been seeing him recently, of course not in person, but I've seen photos floating out there of his current, or how his condition was, and he wasn't doing too great, okay? When you're 95, you're heading towards the end, right? So I think the fact that the dog is dead and the wife is dead is more mysterious than Gene Hackman being dead. But I don't know how we can fully move forward, and start ruling out certain theories and ruling out certain possibilities if there's these small details that we can't get right. Because we can't get this detail right about this dog. And I'm not going to sit here and believe the next story they tell about the dog, because they've already changed it 3 times. So is the dog in a closet? Is the dog locked in a closet? Is the dog in a crate? Locked in a crate? Inside of a closet? All of that stuff really matters, because it will give us a better idea of what went down in the moments before these people died or during their death or whatever. You know what I mean? I think if someone came into Gene Hackman's home and did this to him or his wife, there would be signs of a struggle, right? There would be signs that there, was a struggle, a fight, what have you. There would be injuries. Investigators have said there were no visible injuries, no visible trauma. Now, once again, that's what they said at the beginning of this investigation. Sometimes those details change, but right now that's the details we got. So if at the very least there was no sign of a struggle between someone who may have entered their home and Gene Hackman and Gene Hackman's wife, there would have at least been a struggle between the intruder and the dog. And then that leads you to believe, hey, let's say that there is some type of foul play here. Let's say that there is someone responsible for these 3 deaths. Then whoever it was, there's a strong possibility that they were close to Gene Hackman, they were close to his wife, and this German Shepherd was familiar with them. Because in order to get into their home and pull this off without getting caught, without any signs of foul play, any struggle, any injury, anything, then it had to be someone that everyone in that house was familiar with. And I want to be clear here. Right now, I don't necessarily think there's an outsider, an intruder, or someone else that caused their deaths, although that's always possible. It's still on the table if you ask me. I don't necessarily think that's the case, though, but it's a possibility, right? But if there is someone else involved, I don't think it was a stranger off the streets. There's no forced entry, none of that. So I think it would suggest that it would be someone that they knew, someone that they probably knew pretty closely. But once again, before I end the video, I want to put it out there. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I'm leaning towards something else. I'm leaning towards either Gene or his wife being responsible for what happened to them. But we still don't know, and only time will tell. So for now, let me know your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.